Hey everyone, welcome to another match of Simic Warp Control. Today we're playing 4-color Death's Shadow. This is going to be a fun matchup. I am looking forward to it. I hope you are as well. So, our opening hand is... yeah. That's our opening hand. It's a yeah. So I have no idea what I'm playing. I guess this is okay because we do have a turn 2 play thanks to Utopia Sprawl, but now Thoughtseize is going to completely screw that up. Great, so that's a good start. Now, seeing Thoughtseize and Street Wraith, and okay, so we get our second land draw, that's perfect. You know pretty much what you're going to be playing at this point. There are very few decks that do this little sequence here. So, it looks like we're playing Death's Shadow. Our opponent's already down to 12 life. And the second Thoughtseize comes down. My guess is they're going to target a Tarmogoyf or a Vapor Snag. Probably, if they're playing Death's Shadow. Yeah, that probably makes sense. Alright, so we got a 5-5 turn 2. I can't complain. Can't complain. I'm gonna about to have a 5-6 turn 2. So, you know, that's a thing. I mean, almost certainly playing Tarmogoyf right now. And casting Mishra's Bauble is gonna make it a 6-7. And they're about to draw a Fatal Push, which is not what I wanted to see. Yep. Oh boy. Second Tarmogoyf. And a Fatal Push. Ouch. That is brutal. That's exactly not what I wanted to see. So, Tarmogoyf is going to come down. They can still swing in with Death's Shadow here. This is not going to be a problem. Yep. And we concede. Alright, game 1. Done in under 2 minutes. So, what are we going to bring in? So, Jay seems a tad slow for what they're going to be doing here. And I think Veil of Summer is a better option. And Entrancing Melody is going to be hilarious if I get to actually cast it. Because Stealing a Death's Shadow is going to be super fun. So, our opening hand is fair. Spreading Seas is going to be able to cut them off of a color, ideally, early on. We'll see. They do play blue. So, I mean, the only color that we're not going to see on the other side of this battlefield is white. But, yeah, I mean, Spreading Seas placed on the correct land can still be destructive to our opponent. That's my hope anyway. Veil of Summer will ideally help with... you know, Thoughtseize or Inquisition of Kozilek, which is exactly what I'm going to do right now. Removal ideally would have been a good target, but I really can't have them taking away our Tarmogoyf for our Spreading Seas at the moment. So I'm going to Spreading Seas their Watering Grave. Yes, it's kind of desperate. We draw a Vapor Snag off of it, which is awesome. But they don't have access to black at the moment. That's probably not going to last long. Yeah, there you go. So let them go get whatever other land. There you go. They have access to black. And they're going to Thoughtseize and take away Vapor Snag. That's my guess. Almost certainly going to take away Vapor Snag. They're probably seeing Time Warp there and kind of scratching their head, but that's okay. Oh, it's Tarmogoyf. Okay, well, crap, because that's scary. If they don't want to take Vapor Snag, that means, I don't know, they must have, like, insane redundancy in their hand. So, we draw Tarmogoyf off of Euro. And that's all we're going to do that turn. Our opponent is down to 8 life. But this is actually good news for them. I hope they have a Death's Shadow in hand. They do. Alright, well, we're going to definitely Vapor Snag that card. I guess my question is, they must have permission up. Yeah, they almost certainly have permission. I mean, they're tapped out, so they don't have permission this turn. But if they're playing 4-color, they're almost certainly playing Stubborn Denial. I think if I'm going to get rid of Death's Shadow, I'm going to do it now. So that they can't attack with it next turn. Ironically, it's going to be making it bigger because I'm also dealing 1 damage to our opponent. So our opponent's down to 4. Man, I'm really missing Lightning Bolt right now. So our opponent's probably going to play their Death's Shadow again. They have 4 cards in hand. Okay, 3 cards in hand. Okay, 2 cards in hand. That went by. I was not planning that, by the way. That just happened as I was talking. So they're down to 2 cards in hand. God knows what it is. Arbor Elf will untap our forest. And it looks like I'm going to be playing a Time Warp here. I think that's fair. I need to kind of draw into an answer. I can't attack in, obviously. Spreading Seas is not necessarily an answer. There's nothing I could cut him off red, but it's not it. So we're going to dig again. Again, looking at the versatility of Time Warp. Sometimes it's just a 5 mana draw card. We're using it in the least ideal way possible. Now, we can cast Euro from the graveyard, which will give us some life, which will give us a buffer. What it's going to allow us to do is essentially we're going to allow one Death Shadow in and maybe chump the other. Or maybe just let both of them through. But then we could attack in and kill our opponent. So our opponent can't go all out either. Right? So it looks here like I just cast Euro from my hand. I do get a land, which is actually pretty good. We will cast Spreading Seas here. Probably target Blood Crypt is my guess. Okay, no, yes. Okay, Veil of Summer is going to stop that plan. Cool. We are at 22 life. So we have some room to play. Inquisition of Kozilek is going to do nada. Our opponent can go super crazy here, but okay. So they're going to attack in. Where there are 2 Death Shadows. I'm going to see if I end up blocking one. In theory, I could, because I'm at 5 lands. Okay, so that's what I do. It's not like, if I was at 4, I might have let them both through. So, I'm okay with this. So, we're going to cast Euro out of the graveyard. And we're going to get rid of whatever crap we don't need. Definitely don't want to make our Tarmogoyf smaller. I mean, yes, it would make theirs smaller, but it just kind of defeats the purpose. They're going to win with their 9/9 Death Shadows. So Euro comes down, is going to gain us some life, which is good. Let's see what we get. We get a land. That's beautiful. And we gain 3 life, which is perfect. And now attacking in, obviously useless, because it's going to be stalemate with Tarmogoyf. So let's see what happens this turn. Now again, if they attack in with both Death Shadows, we would be forced to block with one. Thoughtseize is going to take either Force of Negation or Tamiyo out of our hands. Looks like I just decided to get rid of both. I'm not sure about that play, by the way. I figured they were almost certainly going to go for Tamiyo. But then I could have had a Force of Negation up, so that's just a weird play. I would not have done that now, in retrospect. So I have no choice but to block here. I'm going to double block a Death Shadow and just get rid of one. I think that's the correct play. I can cast Euro again from the graveyard, which is going to help us out. And we're going to take out one Death Shadow, which is perfect. We're going to fetch, because we really don't want to draw land at the moment. We just want to draw more gas. We draw land anyway. Great. Whatever. We're going to get our Euro again. And we're going to attack in with Euro, which is very important. Entrancing Melody is a beautiful, beautiful draw. Just beautiful. Alright, so let's do this. Now, I'm at 9, which means that Death Shadow would be at a 4. But at the end of the day, Death Shadow is their finisher. So I'm going to take their Death Shadow. Okay, they're going to Stubborn Denial it, which is interesting. I think now I would just Euro. Right? Yeah. So I'm going to Euro again. It's too bad they had Stubborn Denial. I kind of sensed that they had permission somewhere in their hand. Now they have none. I do make their Tarmogoyf smaller. I would like to think that it was on purpose. I think it was probably just accidental. I don't want to give myself that much credit. Now, I don't need to block here. So another Tarmogoyf comes down. That's okay. We draw Archmage's Charm, and guess what Archmage's Charm steals? Death Shadow. So this is going to be great. So we tried to steal Death Shadow before it was blocked. Assuming that they don't have another counter, which they don't, because they had no cards in hand. This is hilarious. Just hilarious. I don't even do Tamiyo's ability, because I'm like, who cares? What could they possibly draw? There we go. We're going to go to game 3. That was great. I hope you guys enjoyed that round. Even though I was being kind of an idiot near the end. So do we make any changes here? I think we're fine. It looks like I wasn't very happy with Spreading Seas, and that's probably correct. It's probably correct. I'd rather just romance and get a kind of a tempo play out of them. So, opening hand is just, it's not enough. It's not enough. Not enough pressure in that hand. Our mulligan to 6 is, it's just over the line unkeepable, I would say. What's probably winning me over here is Euro. Because the hand is actually very similar to our starting 7. So Thoughtseize comes down and just blows all of that crap out of the water. Let's see what they take. Of course. Of course. So let's go fetch a forest. Utopia Sprawl comes down and we do nothing else. Our opponent plays a second land. Shockingly shocks himself. Alright, well, we got an Arbor Elf. So we can remand whatever they want to play this turn. Or Veil of Summer, if we need to protect ourselves in other ways. Again, though, we don't have any threats, which is a problem. I almost want them to cast something so they can remand it and just draw a card. Fatal Push is something we can deal with. They are currently not ferocious with Stubborn Denial, because Tarmogoyf's only a 3/4. So we can pay for it if necessary. Okay, now we can't pay for it. Still resolves. Alright, so they didn't have ferocious. They didn't have Stubborn Denial in their hand. Alright, fine. So we draw land, which is exactly what I didn't want to see. Cling to Dust. Alright. We draw Tamiyo, which is pretty good. But it's just not ideal right now. I have no choice, though. We're going to plus her. Almost certainly. Search for Time Warp. We don't get it. But we get rid of a bunch of... Oh man, imagine we had the next 4 turns. Land, Mystic Sanctuary, Arbor Elf, land. Oh man, that would have been a horrible 4 turns. We would have totally lost. So, I mean, I'm kind of happy in a way. So, we almost certainly need to defend Tamiyo here. Yeah, it's too soon to have her go away. Probably gonna just untap my forest here so I can have her mana. That was a smart move. So they know what we're gonna draw. So they saw we're going to draw another Veil of Summer. There's nothing really I need to return from my graveyard, so I think Time Warp, yet again, is going to be our target here. We could name Tarmogoyf. Oh, there we go. Look at that. We get 2 Tarmogoyfs. That's hilarious. Alright, well, that's a thing. The thing is, I don't want to cast both Tarmogoyfs right now. Because I do want to kind of keep Veil of Summer mana up. Of course, we do have Remand, but probably wouldn't be enough to stave off removal. So, having Veil of Summer and Remand up is probably better at this point. So, this is going to be great. We hit 2 Tarmos. Which means they can't attack in. Veil of Summer, there we go. It was a good reason. I mean, it was a good reason not to play both our Tarmogoyfs that turn. So Veil of Summer is going to come down. They're going to Stubborn Denial us. We're going to Remand Stubborn Denial, and they won't have the mana to cast it again. So this is actually hilarious. Draw an Arbor Elf off of that. Thoughtseize just goes away. Oh, that sucks, but that's okay. They're kind of going to hurt their own Tarmogoyf there. So we draw Mystic Sanctuary, which miraculously is not going to come into battlefield tapped. Now the question is, are they going to pop Spell Bomb in response? So I target Veil of Summer. At this point, just assuming that they're going to do it. Okay, they don't. Cool. So I can play Tarmogoyf and Arbor Elf and still have mana up for Archmage's Charm, which I think is pretty cool. So I'm going to return Veil of Summer. Cool. So we're going to have double Veil of Summer, 2 Tarmogoyfs. Interestingly, I didn't play Arbor Elf. Might have missed that. Oh, I didn't play it because I wanted Veil of Summer mana. That's smart. Cool. Alright, I was fully thinking correctly when I was playing this game. So let's see. I mean, right now we're actually way ahead of our... Well, I wouldn't say way ahead, but we're ahead of our opponent. So they're obviously keeping Spell Bomb, I'm assuming for Euro or potentially Time Warp. Dismember's going to come down. We're going to Veil of Summer, of course. I believe they're going to Stubborn Denial us, and we're going to Archmage's Charm. Sorry, we're going to Force of Negation their Stubborn Denial. There we go. Let's see if we elicit... Yeah, there we go, because that was going to be game. Awesome. So we beat 4-color Death Shadow. Game 2, I think, was the most hilarious one, where we first failed and then succeeded in stealing their Death Shadow, which I'm sure pissed them off royally. Game 3, we did pretty well. We played the control game pretty well. We played the aggro game pretty well. I mean, I do call this Simic Warp Control. I do feel this is a bit more tempo than control, but hey, the deck did exactly what we wanted it to do. As you can see, we don't always have to have many free turns to win the game. Time Warp just has really nice interactions with our Planeswalker. So, if you enjoyed this match, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content in general, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow me on Twitter. All of that stuff really helps me out. You have no idea. My Patreon's growing, and I think that's great. Thank you for the support there as well. Thanks, and have a good one.